Well, any decent match angler will have a look in the background there and be able to tell you I'm on Jenny's pool at White Acres and I'm going to have a little go on the Waggler. So I'm on peg 8, great peg, and we're going to try and catch some carassio and odd F1s on the Waggler with Sweetcorn.
Right then, it's nice and early in the morning. It's Sunday morning and I'm on Jenny's Lake at White Acres on peg 8. A very good area for waggler fishing with Sweetcorn on the winter festivals. And on the winter festivals here, you're fishing for anything but proper carp. So carassio, goldfish, fantails, F1s, they'll all count, but the big carp, the 8-10 pounders that live in this lake, they don't count. So it's a nice fair lake really, because you're fishing for £1 to £2 fish tops. You know, there's tench and bream and all sorts in here as well, and they all count as well as roach and things like that. So but the waggler really dominates on this lake. So I've got here nice and early before I get too disturbed by everyone walking around practicing on the cheap, I call it. So I'm gonna have a quick go on the waggler. It's a bit breezy, bit of a chop on it and everything, so it's good. It's not easy conditions. Flat, calm conditions with a wind off your back or no wind at all are what you want for waggler fishing. So we've got a bit of a breeze coming sort of diagonally into us, so it'll be interesting to see how we get on today. Very, very shallow this lake as well. So what I've got a big box of wagglers. Let's have a look inside. So I've got all sorts there, straights, inserts, but I think if I can get away with it, an insert's what I like. And I like these. I think they're Sarkandus wagglers. They just sadly don't do them anymore, but these matrix ones are brilliant because you've got this load in. I've got a bit of paint chipping off them and stuff, but I absolutely love them. It means you can undo these weights and just get it dead right, and the insert's just right for this sort of distance and fishing with corn and that. So that's what I try and use, but I have got straights and other bits and bobs there as well. So but I'm going to be fishing with a 3-gram insert to start with. So let's pop them in there and I'll just show you my rig. Right, at the business end first, I've got 016, that's £4 Horizon Mono. It's like a £3 in a lot of manufacturers, but it's a lovely waggler line. And I'm using today the 4 metre 13 foot Horizon waggler. I've got an 11, I've got a 12 foot with me as well, but I like fishing a 13 on this lake if I can. A bit more traditional and just a little bit softer and everything as well, so it's just a nice rod to be using. But I'm going to have a play later on and set me 12 and 11 foot up just to see. And at the business end I've got 3 rubbers and a quick change swivel link, and I've got 3 number 9 droppers which are going to stay under the float to begin with, but that just trims it so it'll sit to about there, and then the 3 9s will take it to about there. That's the plan. And then it's got a nice loading, and like I say, I've got a 3-gram. I've got an aerator in front of me. I'm going to be chucking probably 5 metres short of it. If I go tight to that rope, one, I can hook the rope, but also I think you're into carp central potentially if you go too close. So I'm going as far as I can comfortably loose feed Sweetcorn basically as well. And it's starting to rain. So and that's it, and that's loop to loop, no swivels or anything, because I want the corn to sink nice and slowly. I've got an 012 bottom. That's 6 inch. I'd normally fish a foot, but I'm having a play. I'm just going to use a 6 inch hook length today, and I think it'll be better actually because I can bring that last shot nearer if I'm getting funny bites. And that's a 16 MXC1. So yeah, I can get away with a big hook and a big and thickish line. If I was fishing on the pole today for silvers, I'd be fishing 08, 09, 010. But on the waggler, you can get away with 012, and you seem to still get bites. And you just needed something a little bit heavier on the waggler, I think, else you end up getting cracked off on the strike. So that's it, and I've set it for now. What's that? 2 foot. With the waggler, it's going to be about 3 foot. And the best way to plumb up, I found, is firstly undershot your waggler. So this is perfectly shot at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to unscrew those 3 loading weights so it's undershotted. Pop this back on, screws on nice. So that's going to stand up like a beacon now. And then, so you could use a plummet, but a little tip I think I got this off Des ship. I've got some shot with a pellet band in. Yeah, you can see that. I've got a couple. I've got a swan shot and a 2 swan shot, I think they are. And get them up the tub. Yeah, I don't know if you can see those, but they have got a pellet band in. So all you have to do is slip it under the pellet band. There. That should stay where it is, I hope. There we are. And you've got a nice little waggler plummet. See that? So that's what we're going to cook. I'm going to pop it down here just to see. It should just sink out of sight. It's deeper close in and just gets shallower and shallower the further out you go out. It's like a bar on this peg. So let's just see. See, that's sunk immediately. We'll have another cast just to double check. It's about, I've set it about what I think it is. Yeah, so let's just deepen up until we start seeing that float. Very simple to, and because it's getting shallower and shallower and shallower, you can't get really accurate with this. So I don't mind if I've got a bit of line on the bottom. There's no way in the world when it's sloping away from you that you can get mega accurate on a waggler. Still thinking of it. That wind's actually got up a lot more now. Quite a squally wind, shall we say. Proper sea wind. We're not far from the southwest coast here. It's still sinking. Let's pop it up again. And it's worth spending time. This is the most important part of the session. Getting it plumbed up right. And this lake really undulates. Oh, that's standing up like a beacon now. Yeah. Oh, and that's just sinking. Yeah, right. So about 7 or 8 metres short, that's the depth. Which is actually more like 3.5 to 4 foot actually. So that's going to be bump. Yeah, it's going to be a lot shallower there. Still low showing. That just brought it down to halfway down the bristle, so you know that's about right. And if we come another metre short, boom, the waggler's gone. So that's where the slope is. Perfect. Obviously you can't see that on the screen, but that's basically, if I just show you, it was showing about that much, and then I reeled it in and it got to about there, so you know your dead depth, and you reel in a bit more, it's obviously sunk out of sight. So that's how we know. I know it's just going to get shallower and shallower the further out we go, but that's fine, I'm happy with that. Let's take that plummet off and put those discs back on, and we'll be in business. I might bring 1 or 2 of those number 9s down as well, but I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to fish with nothing down and with a couple of 9s down, and see. These carassio are really hard to hit, the bites are a nightmare. So it's another reason for having this practice today, because every day is a bit different, but they can be a nightmare to hit the bites. So anyway, let's pop these 3 discs back on, screw the waggler back on, nice and secure. Yeah, and let's bring those number 9s down the line. We'll have 3 down the line to start with, and then we'll mess around with it. And here comes the rain, but that's it, I am ready to start. So all I've done is cracked open a tin of corn. I fully expect to feed all of this in a session, maybe a couple of tins. Hook it in the blunt end, nice and deep. Hooking in the blunt end, it's the toughest part of the corn. And we'll vary the size of grains. And we'll cast out, feed on top. Yeah, beautiful. So I'm overcasting a little bit and then bringing it back. That it should be bang on where I want it. I'm just going to feed 2 or 3 grains. But these carassio, they love, absolutely love, the corn plopping in. God, where's this wind come from? I'm casting that a little bit to the right now. But that's the beauty of this as well. You're spraying in corn, it's creating a big area, so you're not being as accurate as pole fishing. I'm going to feed quite heavily now. Now I've got my eye in. Oh, that was a bite. I'm sure that was a bite. I'm not expecting it to be in too long before I get a bite, so I haven't treated the line with detergent or anything, but I've got some in the bag which I can put on if we have to, just to help it sink. You get it right and it won't be in there long enough, especially because it's only like 3 foot deep. There we are. And the bites, carassio are notorious for funny bite, and they've got real hard bony mouths, and a lot of people don't know what a carassio is, so hopefully we'll catch one and I'll be able to show you. But it's a naturally occurring goldfish and they do breed. They're not an F1. In a few venues in England, and they breed like rabbits, they breed really successfully. They're a real strange fish, very hard fish, very bony mouth. They don't fight a lot, but they're a great winter sport. But the corn will go everywhere. My biggest tip for that is don't worry. You're feeding a big area. You can't cast in one spot all the time anyway, so it's not a problem. And you'll catch roach and skimmers on this corn as well, but it's the carassio, they're the target, because they're about a pound and a bit on average. Here we are, it's my first carassio. Hardly saw the bite. Waddling in, they don't fight a lot. Notorious for coming off at the net. There we are. Silvery thing. Alright, so let's have a look at him, shall we? There we are. There's a corner. That is, a lot of people say that's an F1. But anyone who knows anything about White Acres and Stafford Moor and places like that, there's some at Hayfield Lakes, that is a carassio. It's not an F1. They love sweet corn, they love maggots, they love pellets, but sweet corn is what I'm going to be catching with today. So there you are, my first White Acres carassio. There we are. Lovely little carassio. No keep net today. Take him straight back. Hopefully there's a few more. I'm going to say hello to my camera then. My French friends. Stealing our fish. Leave our fish alone. What is it? It's ugly, whatever it is. My French friends have been watching me for a little bit, and I've had one fish since they've been there. And it's not good. But you keep feeding it. The one thing you must do is keep feeding. And come to that plot. That's definitely a carassio. No, don't be disheartened if they come off on the way back. It's just what happens. Carassio come off. They're a funny old fish, and they're notorious for coming off like that. I probably pulled him a bit too hard, that one. But that's what happens with carassio. They come off. They've got hard mouths, and it just happens.
Get over it. Just think about the next fish, not the one you've just lost. Alright, let's have a little play. Push that last dropper right up.
Surprised how much corn you can get through fishing like this, but like I say, a couple of tins in 5 hours quite easily if they're having it. I've had days here where you've had to just ping in 2s and 3s, but normally start of a festival on here you can be quite aggressive. Another one. Feel like I've got them there now. Yeah, another carassio. Oh, that one's rock hard. It's like a shell they've got, like this real hard. You can almost knock them like wood. Yeah, that's his best side. We've all got our best side, haven't we? Yeah, I think they're there now. So, let's try and catch 5 more. Then I think you've seen enough. Then I'll carry on having a practice. Got other baits. I'm going to fish the pole for a bit. So we'll play around. 5 more carassio, and that's it. I mean, it's such a nice, simple, enjoyable method. Hooking out a waggler, lavering in corn very generously. Test it out. Bend the line a little bit. Give him a big pouch of corn. All over the shop, it doesn't matter, because in a sec it's going to go under. Yeah. Well, that's not moving a lot. That might be a carp. Not doing anything this fish. Might be enough one. Feels a bit carpy this. We'll see what we get on O12. I think there might be a big F1 actually. Hopefully. What we got? Right, big mirror. Coming so nice. Come on, come to Johnny. Came in like a sack of spuds, now he knows he's a carp. So it's not just for carassio, you will catch a few of these. They're really heavy fish in this place. There we are. And because those carp are about as well, it's nice to search the periphery anyway. You tend to find at this time of year the carp do tend to stay in the middle. Not such a problem on the pole. It's just a little blink that. Carassio. I'm going to try messing around with rods as well. You can do this 11-foot carp. It's only shallow, so it doesn't matter what length rod. You just want it nice and soft. If it's too beefy a pellet waggler rod, then you might be in trouble. But that's why I've gone for this nice sort of medium waggler rod. So that was a perfect little bite. That. And another carassio. So 3 more fish, and we'll pick the pole up and have a play with something else. Not sure if I'll film that, but that's what I'm going to do. I've got the day down here in Cornwall. Got the week down here in Cornwall. Got some Europeans opposite me watching me. They're on the festival as well. A real mixture of anglers on this. It's nice because you get quite a few people from sort of Holland and Belgium and France coming to fish, sampling the sport that we have in England. I get quite a few watching my YouTube channel. So it's just sitting there lovely now. Yeah, there we are. Amazing, isn't it? At the start it just didn't feel right, but now they're just there. Another carassio. And all I'm fishing is 2 9s down the line now. The last one's about a foot away. But at least with that 6-inch hook length, if I will need to bring it closer, I can. When they're on it, it's brilliant. That might be a little left one actually. Yeah, that's not a carassio, that's actually a little F1. One of the newer ones. Yeah. Very similar, but that is an F1. So, 2 more fish. And then we'll wrap up. Let me carry on with my fishing. Such a simple method, there's not a lot to show you. Just catty it out, get your depth as nice as to depth, or just an inch or 2 over depth as possible. Oh, missed that one. Yeah, so it's dead simple really. Single grain of corn, yeah, that's a nice little grain there. Cast it out. Perfect now. Wind's dropped. Sun's out. You alright? How we doing? Under. It has been, yeah. It's been alright. Well, it's very slow to start. I've had a nice carp. As you do. Right, I just squashed a grain of corn. So it's like a corn skin. That's it's gonna sink, but really, really slowly. Showing you all my little secrets now. The wind's dropped and everything now. It's like a different lake now. Oh, what's that one? That was on the corn skin. Try that again. Just squash a grain. It is just the skin then. Good for anywhere where dobbing bread and stuff works as well, but they ban bread, try a corn skin. They definitely come in waves on this method as well. You'll get a little run where you go bang 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 and get 3 or 4 on the bounce. You might miss 2 or 3. And then you might just wait there 5-10 minutes without a bite, and then they'll come back. You just got to persevere, keep making a few little adjustments all around the feed. Big grains, little grains, squeeze a grain of corn, try a corn skin, try all sorts of things just to keep them bites coming. Bigger pouch, blasting in 2 or 3 pouches, just dripping in 2 or 3 grains, all sorts. So many things you can do just to keep yourself busy, but you will just get runs of fish. It's very rare you can go out and you just keep going under doing the same thing, which is sort of classic Waggler fishing, whatever you're fishing for. That was textbook, that, wasn't it? Oh, it's a blondie. Oh, thank you. Thought it might be. As soon as you said that. Wow. They don't normally fight either. Come back here. Yeah. Yeah. They've really put on weight, these blondies. Blonde F1. They've got ready fins, haven't they? Such an unusual fish. Really fat. Whee! Yeah. Blonde F1. Put them back. Can't catch them in the summer. It's addictive, isn't it, waggler fishing? That was nice, wasn't it? This might be another blondie. It is! Another bigger blondie. That is a big one, isn't it? That's like I say, that's like £3, isn't it? That's a hell of a bonus. Okay. But there you are. I hope you enjoyed that. Nice little waggler session. Look, and that's all I've got from a tin. That's all that's left. From a 330 gram tin, that's all I've got left. So maybe have one more cast. And then that'll do. You know what I'm like? Too many one last cast, but at least getting to the end of the tin forces you. I'm trying to bring it as close in as possible before lifting the rod to net it. This is the moment when they generally come off. There we are. Little carassio. He doesn't look very happy, does he? There you are. Waggler and corn, carassio, F1s, blonde F1s, even an odd mirror carp. Lovely fishing.